My ever-faithful companion, Dark Magician!
Welcome along, fellow Dark Magician enthusiasts, to another deck profile. This time, it's for Rush Duel. Man, so many months of DM, just left on the wayside. DM's like, where's my cards, bro? We finally have some cards. Oh my god. The Rush Duel cog, though, was such a struggle, but fucking finally got it. Really epic duel with Vicky Lilbert 5637 in chat. Oh my god. Very, very good. I just go on OTK DM player immediately after. Damn. OTKing a DM player after facing me. Yikes. Well, that's what happens. DM can be good, DM can be bad. But anyway, so the brand new skill, Illusion of Execution. It's a very, very good skill. It is way better than what our deck previously had, because previously the skill that we had, I will show, where is it? Magician Shuffle. One of the first archive skills for Rush Duel. So, all monsters with 2500 or more attack have to be spellcaster type. On turn 2 onward, you reveal a dark attribute with 1700 or more defense to your opponent. You add a Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from deck or graveyard. Then send a dark attribute spellcaster monster with 1700 or more defense from your hand to the graveyard. Which, this is not good. This at the moment now, it's just a hand graveyard shuffle. That's all it is. The main purpose of this entire skill was just to get DM into the graveyard so that DMG would get attacked. That's all the skill was for. But now we have a skill that's so much better. Illusion of Execution. From turn 2 onward, you reveal a level 5 or higher monster in your hand if all the monsters in your deck are spellcaster, and all level 5 or higher monsters are DM, DMG, and Dark Eradicator Sorcerer. So these are the only, big monsters that you're going to run. There's only 7 cards you can reveal with the skill. But what you get to do, you get to excavate the top 3 of your deck, add any spell from the top 3 to your hand, and then send the rest to the graveyard. And then once per duel, you get to send DM from your deck to the graveyard. Really, really good shit. And also, yes, as Terra again said, don't forget to like, sub, and, join it, turn on that notification bell. Anyway, bloody hell, I am ecstatic. I am fucking ecstatic. Anyway, so I run 3 copies of Dark Eradicator Sorcerer. You need the skill to pop up as much as possible. And I know some people have said, oh, I haven't gotten Dark Eradicator's effect to work properly, or I haven't really used it at all. With the right build, you can pop off this effect multiple times, throughout many duels. I haven't had a duel where I've managed to do this twice in succession, but I've had many duels where I've used this effect and it's gotten me game. It's very, very good. You send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Dark Eradicator Sorcerer, turns into DM, and then you shuffle 10 spell cards from your graveyard into the deck. And if you do, you can pop a face-up level 8 or lower monster on the opponent's field. So yes, 10 spell cards, very costly, but it still works well. If you build the deck right, you can get 10 spells into the grave and just go crazy. Then we have 3 copies of DMG with the brand new art. It looks fabulous. I love that DMG's popping out of the frame a bit. It looks magnificent. It's really, really nice. The effect's simple. For DMG, gains attack equal to the number of DM times 500. Really good. 3 copies of Legendary Magician. Surprisingly, what you can do, if you don't draw into any cards at all, you got Legendary Magician on your field and you got DM in your graveyard, excavate top 3, send a monster from the top 3 if you wish, and then you add DM back to your hand, and you got your skill activation ready to go. But it also pairs nicely with another card in the deck as well, which I'll explain more in a bit. This is very good. I run 3 because, sometimes getting DM from your grave to start your skill is necessary. It's very good. 3 copies of Curtain. Now, I have seen some people say, oh, Curtain not that great, don't use it. Which, I understand why. You pay 700 points, 700 life points, to look at the top 4, and then you add up to 2 TM or DMG from the top 4, and then put the rest onto the bottom of your deck. If you miss with Curtain, that's 700 life points gone. So then you have to use another Curtain. If you miss again, that's 1400 life points. If you use another Curtain and you miss again, that's 2100 life points and a single, like 3 effects. It's very costly. Sometimes it's worth it though. Sometimes you need Curtain to, like, you know, grab DMG and then just go crazy. Like, there is a risk you miss, but I still find Curtain to be necessary to an extent. Then we have one Wizened Dark Magician. Now, I didn't really feel like the need to run multiple copies. One worked out pretty well. I didn't even use its effect that much. I was mainly relying on the spells. And yeah, didn't really need to use Wizened that much. Yeah, but still Wizened is not bad. Send a Dark Attribute Spellcaster from your hand to graveyard, draw a card, then you can summon DM from your grave. Really, really good stuff. And before I move on, just as Terravian and Clover said, yeah, if you want to come and join the live streams, just come in, hang out and chat, you know? Talk about your day, how you going, and, you know, have some fun. Back to the profile. One copy of the glorious new DM art. The Ultimate Wizard, like, got a massive glow up. Love it. Absolutely love this art. I love it. It's great. 2 copies of Secret Order. Previously, I only had 1, but then I changed some ratios of another card, and I found that 2 worked way better than 1. So 2 Secret Order, good stuff. Plus, makes you, impervious to widespread ruin. Like, you know, immune to it. It's great. Secret Order is a good card. I would use it. My legend spell of choice was Hammer Shot, mainly because Pot of Greed is the best legend spell to use, but because I use 1 copy of Thousand Knives, which is limited 1, I have to use Hammer Shot. Like, there's no real other card that would, like, you know, work out best compared to the others. Hammer Shot's still really good though. Still really, really decent. Destroy an attack position monster with the highest attack on the field. Your opponent's got like a big level 10, like 3000 attack monster. Just go Hammer Shot, pop, and, like, you know, your problems are all solved. It's really good. We got 3 copies of Stone of the Dark Magicians. You need 3 stone. 3 stone. This is like one of the best cards DM's got. You know, summon DM and DMG from hand or graveyard. Really, really good stuff. Like, yeah, you can just get 2 bodies on the field and just start popping off like crazy. It's a very, very good spell. Make sure you get 3. I've got 1 Curse of the Rising Light. This deck does love to go second, so you can run more if you wish. 1 was pretty well reasonable for me. Yeah, I felt it worked really well for me. My case, I could run more if I really wanted to, but it also works it works in this meta when people are using Shiny Shady and other traps a lot. Curse can actually pop off a lot more than usual. So it's really good now. It's really, really good. 1 copy of Talismanic Seal Array, because even though we can shuffle all of our spells back, we need a way to shuffle our monsters back, and Talismanic does that for us. I only run 1 though. You could run Pot of Avarice if you really wanted to for even more shuffling back. Talismanic Seal Array just helps close out games. Very nice. 1 copy of Dark Resonance Burst, which this is another one of the best spell cards DM has. And it's like, hold on. You might be thinking, why would you use only 1 of the best card? Because there is another strategy that I do use. I'll explain in a second. Dark Resonance Burst lets you, there goes my alarm right in the middle of the deck profile. Thanks, alarm. Anyway, you make a face up level 6 or higher dark attribute spellcaster monster on your field, gain 1000 attack until the end of the turn. If you got DM or DMG on the field, it gains an extra 1k attack. So if you have like 2 of these or 3 of these, you can boost DM straight up to 8500 attack and just watch your opponent sit there in shock as DM obliterates their life points. Very, very crazy card. But I only run 1 because I have Saturnus's Orb. This is how I power up Eradicator Sorcerer and dig through my entire deck. If you have a face-up level 6 monster on your field, send 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard, draw 2 cards. With DMG being a level 6, Saturnus's Orb can, you know, dump a monster, draw 2, and if you pair it with Legendary Magician that can add DM from your graveyard to your hand, you can summon 2 of these, you know, and DMG's on the field, Orb, draw 2, grab DM, orb, draw 2, grab DM, and like, you know, tribute summon. Like, you can do a lot with, like, you can do a lot with this. Like, or even, yeah, it's very, very good. Just very, very good combo. I do like orb. It worked out very nicely in many cases. 1 copy of Dark Magic Attack. I'd rather not run too many copies of this, because if you know, just fill up on spell trap removal, like your hand, and you got no other spells to really play, you kind of put yourself in a worse position than, like, you know, previously. Plus, if you got no spells and traps to blow up, Dark Magic Attack becomes a dead card. So it is a bit of a, like, you know, toss up here and there. I probably would maybe play 2, not 3 to be honest, but 2 can still work. 1 worked out really well for me though, worked out fine. And then finally we have 3 copies of Star Protector's Protection. This is probably the best trap that Rush has. I got no legend traps, surprisingly, none. Don't need it. Star Protector's Protection is really good. Your opponent draws a card during their turn, or they normal or special summon. You just send a monster from your field to the grave, and your opponent can only attack once. This prevents a lot of OTKs, but you have to be very careful. Some decks can kill you on the spot with 6k plus attack, so you gotta be extremely careful which deck you use this against and when you use it. Because if you got like 1 monster to the field, you send your only monster left, and they summon a big 7k or 6k attack monster, you're dead. Like, it's very, very risky. But it's a very, very good card. Plus, I do gotta say, this art goes really, really hard. This art is insane. And if you ever come across Seven's Chariot in 7s, this trap can actually steal that monster. Because you can take control of a face-up level 9 or higher Magical Knight type fusion monster with 3000 original attack on your opponent's field. So you can send your monster and then yoink your opponent's monster as well. It's a really good card, you know, not gonna lie, it's really good. What Sonic Smash Bros is saying is 1000 Eyes eventually goes to 2, Pot of Greed would go insanely hard, which at that point, you wouldn't even need to turn this as Orb. You could just max out on Resonance Burst or Dark Magic Attack, you know. You could do a lot, really good. You could even max out on Curse of the Rising Light, you know, Pot of Greed, Curse, like, very good stuff. And if you wanted to using a Legend Trap as Sonic Smash Bros is saying, Trap Hole's really good. Like, there is Widespread Ruin, but there's a bunch of monsters that can protect themselves from attacks. And Negate Attack and Compulsory Evacuation Device are both limited 1. So, like, Trap Hole's realistically, as Sonic Smash Bros is saying, you know, it's really the best option you got. Your opponent normal summons a monster with 1000 more attack, or even Tribute Summon, just blow it up. It's a very good card. But yeah, that is the deck profile there. And I will say, is this the best version? There is a little bit of debate, to be honest, because, like, there are problems with this deck. I will say that. No, I won't lie. There are problems with this deck. If you don't have a level 6 monster on your field, Orb doesn't work. If you don't have enough copies of Dark Resonance Burst and your only copies are in the graveyard, you can't boost DM or DMG. If your only copy of Dark Magic Attack has gone to the grave, you can't blow up your opponent's spells and traps. You could say the same thing about Talismanic Seal Array. You can't shuffle back, you can lose the game on the spot. If you don't have more copies of Curse, like, you know, you've had your 1 chance to flip an opponent's monster. And honestly, like, you could easily take it Hammer Shot and 1000 Knives and both of the orbs, put in a Pot of Greed. Like, you could easily do this as adjustments. As an example, you could easily take these out. If I look for Dark Magician, just to show you, like, you know, there can be some changes, but I did want to stick with this, with the version of the deck that I made as much as possible. You could do really well, like, just this. You could do this very easily, and it can work out really well. Or you could even put it into copies of Curse. Whoops, I only have 1 copy of this art. There. 2 copies of Curse. You could do that. Or if you really wanted to, you could just max out on Secret Order, have 1 Curse. You know, you've got multiple ways to summon your monsters. You've got multiple ways to, like, you know, boost the attack and defense. You can even have, like, you know, 3 copies of Burst. And this is still a really good deck. But yeah, as Clover said, it's just, yeah, just experiment. See what works best for you. But after I fix this entire deck, if I just put back in everything that I had, put these here, We had Hammer Shot and 1,000 Knives. Honestly, I liked this deck a lot. This deck worked really well for me. Yeah, just try and see what works best for you. But DM is finally playable in Rush, so go grab those cards from the latest box and don't miss out on the fun. And hopefully more DM support drops soon. With that all being said, thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you all next time.